Race fans, we're standing in the pit area here at Penns Creek Raceway Park this evening with Jimmy Straub. Jimmy's been racing a number of years. First off, where are you from, Jim?
I'm from McClure.
From McClure. So you're Mifflin County or
Mifflin
He's
County,
officially a Mifflin County racer. And you've been racing when? Since about 90, 91?
91, yes.
91. Now, you have not been racing this year at all. This is your first night, and we're in August, so
yeah.
you have some catching up to do.
I have a lot of catching up to do. Yes, I do. Just money, and stuff at home, and
you got to treat it as a hobby, an expensive hobby.
Yes, very, very much so. Yeah.
Well, do you have any sponsors you want to take care of?
I got the race poultry here on, and the fight team. They help me out. Big deal. Or a great deal, I should say, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything in the past, any races that ever stick out in your mind that's like, man, that was a good race? Is something like that ever stick out in your mind?
I got two. When we won that cage controlled here with everybody here. Then I had a massive crash here.
I remember
2
that.
years ago. Yes.
I remember that.
Yeah, that's the two that really stick out for me here. Yeah.
And what are you going to be racing tonight?
Sportsman's cage.
In the Sportsman. And there's what, 5 or 6 of those guys?
There is, but there's only 3 so far.
There's 3 here, and the guy beside you is already missing. So, yeah, he's usually a tough cookie to get.
Yeah, that's why I thought we'd try to.
Hey, you have a fighting chance tonight.
Yeah, I have a chance tonight. But
all right, well, good luck tonight. Jimmy Straub, number 3.
Thank you.
Race fans, we're also standing in the pits this evening, in the Beachel pits, I should say, with Summer Beachel. Summer, what divisions do you run here?
Divas.
The Divas. And who's probably your biggest competition?
I don't know.
Anybody that's ahead of you, right?
Yeah.
Well, who's some of your sponsors on your car? Want to share that?
Larry's and Sherry's Bergens.
Okay, and anybody else?
No.
Now, where are you from?
Montandon.
You're from Montandon. And where do you go to school?
Milton High School.
Milton High School. Okay, so maybe you might know Caitlin. Shut up here. She goes to Milton, I believe, also. I don't think she's competing tonight. So we have a chance to get up there tonight.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck to you, Summer. Summer Beachel, number 10 in the Divas. Hey, we're still in the pits. We're still live on the camera. This is Blaze Beachel, I believe. No, this is Larry Beachel. I forgot. I looked at the wrong cart. So, Larry, what divisions you run?
Junior Restricted.
Junior Restricted. Who's your biggest competition in the division?
Braden and Colby.
Braden and Colby. You're going to have another one tonight. Do you know a driver by the name of Owen Dem? I think he runs a number 2.
Not sure.
Well, he's en route to the track tonight. He's at a football game, and he's going to be competing later tonight. So let's get after him, okay? Mm-hmm. So who's some of your sponsors? Do you have any sponsors?
Larry's Pizza.
Larry's Pizza. And did I ask where you went to school?
No.
Where'd you go to school?
Milton High School.
Oh, so you go to Milton High School also. And what grade are you in?
9th.
9th. And you've been racing, what, 2-3 years now?
Yeah.
2-3 years. What do you like about Penns Creek Raceway?
Competition.
Competition is always good. It's always stiff. We get that feedback a lot. So, hey, best of luck to you tonight. Number 88, Larry Beachel. Race fans standing in the pits here at Penns Creek Raceway Park with Landon Beachel. Landon runs the number 5, I believe it is. Well, Landon, where are you from?
Turbotville.
Turbotville. And where do you go to school?
Where you run.
Where you run. Mom, you can help her out. You can help him out. That's not a problem. And what class do you run?
Cage Conrad.
And who's probably the toughest cookie besides yourself? Who's the toughest person you have to try and beat all the time?
Blaze.
Is it the 4B down here, huh? He's pretty quick, isn't he? Yeah, Blaze is pretty quick. So who do you think's going to win tonight?
I'm going to try, but...
You're going to try. Well, I'm telling you what. Best of luck to you. That's a good answer, right? Best of luck to you. And we'll see you in the track later tonight. Hey fans, we're standing in the communications tower here at Penns Creek Raceway Park with the promoter of Penns Creek Raceway, Dwayne Zimmerman. I think Dwayne's holding the championship belt for next Saturday's 100-lap clone clash in 375. Expound on that a little bit, Dwayne.
Yep, the 100-lappers winner's going to win this championship belt. This belt's made from the same company that does MMA and WWE and stuff like that. So this will go along with the $300 first place prize next week.
that's a pretty sweet looking belt, and hopefully somebody that wins that can actually wear it. I remember a couple of years ago, help me out here, Quentin Graham, it was bigger than he was. So it was kind of a unique piece to add to his trophy collection, I'm sure. So here's what you're looking at for next Saturday night as a clone clash will take place, 100 laps of distance, and clone 375.
All right, welcome to Track Chat. I'm Johnny Strauss, your host. We're here at Penns Creek Raceway. We're back at the Theater of Speed, they call it here at Penns Creek, and I have my special guest tonight is Colin Geiger, and Colin's one of the regulars here at Penns Creek. He competes in 350 flat, isn't it?
That's correct. We also run an Animal 340, and we just started running Clone 340 here a couple weeks ago.
I knew you were new to the Clone Wars, so to speak, and there's a lot of competition there.
Yes, there is. There's a lot of awesome competition. It puts me through my paces and shows what I can do as a driver, yes.
Well, I know you pretty much had a handle on the 350 flathead class, and you've been running that for quite a while.
Yes, we've been running that class for years, we'll say. Last year at the awards banquet, I said something about running about 17 years. So we've come up through the ranks with Corey Graham, Big Quentin, Matt and Travis Myers, and a lot of the other guys, Bob Bupp especially.
Okay, well, those are all top racers that you just mentioned there, I know, and I guess this clone thing would be probably a little more of a challenge for you.
Oh yes, definitely. It's a different type of motor that we're used to, and it's something that we have to get used to as a team from Jack's Motorsports.
I know the valve settings are pretty much upside down on a clone because on a flathead the valves are opening from the bottom up, and on a clone they're the opposite.
Yes, they are, and we just tend to take our motors back to the motor builder and ask, hey, can you take care of this? We don't like to touch our motors. It's just something we haven't had that much experience with.
Well, as you go along, I'm sure you'll gain more and more experience, and I think eventually you'll probably be doing them yourself because most of the really good guys do a lot of their own work. I mean, they may not build the motor originally, but they maintenance it and take care of it.
Well, that's what we do. We do a lot, just the normal oil changes and make spark plugs, but anything inside the motor, we don't touch. Even with our flatheads and our animals, we don't touch any of the internals.
Well, it's getting more and more like that, I know. I raced go-karts back in the 80s. Back in the late 70s and early 80s, and even back then we had motor builders. I mean, we sent them down south and got our flatheads done, and then eventually we got them done locally. But yeah, you're probably smart to do that for now anyway. Tell me a little bit about Colin Geiger. Where are you from?
I'm from Sunbury, Pennsylvania. It's about a half hour away from here, which is really nice for a drive, and it's a great place to come from for at least a Saturday afternoon. I graduated high school in 2011 and graduated from Pennsylvania College of Technology in 2014.
Okay, so then you're going to be in the higher tech world for a job, hopefully.
Yeah, I do auto body work at Jeff's Auto Body and Collision Center out in Neelysburg Way, and they're my primary sponsor, and we just can't thank them enough for allowing us the time and effort to use the paint materials and their paint booth for the cool body kits we've come out with.
I saw that on your card. I saw you were advertising for them, and I knew they were kind of one of your sponsors, and it's almost a shame that you need sponsors to race go-karts these days, but that's almost the case.
Yes, it is. It's really disappointing. I mean, we've been doing this for years, and we've been kind of footing the bill just as a father and son team, along with our grandfather a few years ago, and it's just getting harder and harder, even trying to find people that want to sponsor us. It's just it's hard to deal with.
Well, we live in an area that's really saturated with motorsports. I mean, you got a couple of half-mile sprint car tracks, late models, midgets, micro sprints. I mean, this area is really heavily saturated with motorsports, so it is hard. It's hard to find a sponsor. It really is.
Yes, it is, and hopefully next year, I have an idea for a few of them, but we're going to see what happens at the end of this year. We actually have another young fella coming in with our team, and we're going to see how that plays out here towards the end of the year, and hopefully next year we'll see where we all fall in place. Okay,
so now you've run karts for quite a few years. Do you have any ambitions as far as moving on to something bigger, something more expensive yet?
Not really. I mean, karts is where I like to keep it. It's just my hobby, and more of my play toys are at home. They're my trucks and whatever else I decide to purchase along the way.
Yeah, I know. I was really impressed with your equipment a couple of years ago, actually, when I first started coming here. I really liked the paint and the color on your flat 350 cart.
Thank you. We greatly appreciate that. It's one of a. Was it the orange-ish black one last year?
So, sort of a root beer type brown color. I don't know exactly what the name of it is, but it almost looks like a candy color.
I believe that was probably the one I ran last year. Honestly, it was actually a total flop for color. It's not the way I had it or wanted it to come out, but it turned out that way, and actually I liked it way better than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it looks nice, I'll tell you. Well, so you're running clone tonight, and you're running the 350 flat, and what did you say the other class was?
Animal 340.
That's right, Animal 340. So you got all three different motors there. You're running all flat carts, no cage carts?
Nope, we actually had a champ cart last year, and we did sell that off at the end of the year, so we just decided to go with the flat carts and just kind of see where that goes.
Well, the flathead, that used to dominate karting. Flatheads and Yamaha 2-cycles. That's what everybody ran. And then the flatheads started to get more and more expensive. Then the environmental people got on Briggs and Stratton about the flathead motor. They wanted it to be more environmental friendly, so they came out with the overhead valve engine to clean, to be a cleaner engine. So they quit making the flathead. But there's a lot of aftermarket parts out there, right?
Yes, there are. From what I've gathered, I guess the Burris Tire actually bought a lot of the molds and stuff for the flatheads from Burris, so now they're making a lot of the parts for the aftermarket parts.
But you don't buy a piston for $20 anymore.
Oh, absolutely not. They're basically going through the roof just like everything else.
Well, they took the clone, which is really, when we say clone, we're talking about a clone. It's cloned off of a Honda GX series engine, and they use them on all kinds of things, pumps and snow blowers and everything you can imagine. But they cloned them, and they're made in China, most of them. And the thing is, they're cheap to buy. They're only like $100 off the shelf at a Harbor Freight store or somewhere you can buy them. But they're not $100 when you get them to the racetrack here, because they just almost replace all the parts inside, right?
Yeah, that's correct. They do a lot of blueprinting and dynoing and cutting and shaving and everything just for inside the motor, and they're upwards of a couple $1,000s at this point. It's just kind of ridiculous, in my opinion. But
it is. It's too bad they can't put a claiming fee on it, $200 or even $300, and just try to keep the lid on it. But no, they're climbing in cost.
Yes, they are. I'm actually really fond of, I guess, a lot of the local tracks down south are running the local 206 option, which I think would be pretty epic up here.
Yeah, I think it would work. They should have done it right from the get-go, but Briggs was a little slow in promoting that 206. They came out at a pretty high price, but that clone motor at Harbor Freight was only $100. I mean, that's hard to compete with that.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. When you can get one and just take it to the track, it's really hard to beat that.
But they didn't stay at that price. Well, listen, Colin, it's been fun talking to you here, and we wanted to get around and talk to all the drivers here at Penns Creek, but it's really hard to get them all because there's over 100 now, and there's probably be a little bit off tonight because they have a Burris Money Series race tomorrow. They have one somewhere. Was it tonight? They had two different races going on this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I haven't quite stayed up on it.
I think one of them was they're running actually Monday night at a fairground somewhere, so they got plenty of racing going on this weekend, so they may be down a little bit on entries.
It's wherever the carters want to go and wherever they feel they need to be. It's kind of where it's at.
It's tough to win here. It doesn't matter what. It's still tough to win, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It always is.
There's always someone good here. I mean, there's always somebody in their class. It's really good. Well, again, we want to thank you for stopping by the booth and talking to us here, Colin. And good luck tonight.
Thank you very much. We'll have a great time, and we'll try and put on a show for you guys.
We'll watch for him in the feature, and they'll be up next.
You like them, don't you? Where's your fit tab? Huh? You don't need one. Huh? Hey, you run the animal division? Huh? Yeah? Okay. All right. Are you sure? Are you gonna win tonight? Huh? Are you?